The zombie shark swallowed the person in front of it in one gulp, and the two combined to form a giant fish monster. Its body was strange like a reptile, and the face was a real human skeleton, and the team immediately entered a combat state when they saw it. Jill set up her plasma rifle. Its shell can reach 20,000 degrees Celsius, and she will attack at the right moment. Just when everyone was relieved, the monster stood up again. Whether the protagonist group can escape from here or not, this is the latest action movie to talk about in this issue. On the day of Resident Evil, Death Island, American agent Leon was instructed by intelligence agent Harrigan to arrest Taylor, a mechanical engineering expert. Because this person is suspected of leaking scientific secrets to enemy countries, Taylor is currently being kidnapped by a mysterious organization, and Harrigan sends the group's truck route. Asking him to solve the problem today, Leon chases the truck on his beloved motorcycle, only to be intercepted by the female warrior, Maria. The other party's father once combined with the villain to do evil, and was killed by Leon and his companions, so Maria formed an imitation of the male protagonist. Leon shot and smashed the tires of the other man's car, but Maria rushed to the bridge and jumped onto Leon's motorcycle. Strangled the opponent's neck and jumped, and the high heels stuck on the main brake. Leon almost fell because of inertia. Maria then vanishes in place, his rescue plan fails, and a large number of infected people appear in San Francisco on the other side. Jill, a member of the BSAA, despite the dissuasion of Captain Chris, infiltrates the home of the infected person alone to investigate. She cautiously made her way to the second floor, where she found the hostess lying in a pool of blood, after Jill was sure that she was dead. Just as he was about to leave the room, the zombie man suddenly pounced, and Jill pulled it back and immediately shot him. But because he didn't hit the head, the man rushed over again and gnawed and scuffled with Jill. The other man kicked against the wall, grabbed the zombie and threw it to the first floor, and Jill pressed him and smashed it against the glass coffee table. Then a shot was fired in the head, and then Chris and others rushed to help, and he questioned why the other party acted without permission. Jill says that when someone is in danger, she doesn't wait for support until everyone returns to the base. Chris goes to Rebecca, who studies the zombie virus, and asks her if she has any eyebrows, and Rebecca analyzes 12 similar cases. It was found that all the infected people had no bite marks on their bodies, only small pinholes, and someone must have deliberately spread the modified T-virus. Rebecca knows about Jill's unauthorized actions last night and advises Chris not to blame the other party. Jill has been through so many traumas. Even being brainwashed by the enemy to hunt down her teammates, she is now back on the battlefield in a hurry to prove herself, and it is inevitable that she will act a little recklessly. Chris's sister, Claire, is investigating dead whales on the beach in San Francisco, and she finds huge bite marks on the fish. More than any known sea creature could attack, and with the T-virus detected in the wound, Claire collected a sample of the corpse. It was sent to Rebecca for further investigation, and after cross-checking all the case information, Rebecca found the infected people. After having been to Alcatraz near San Francisco, Jill and Chris immediately pretend to be tourists and go to Alcatraz to find out, and Rebecca calls on the way. Saying that a vaccine for a new strain had been developed, Chris was immediately relieved when he heard this, and the three of them came to Alcatraz's famous scenic spot, prison, which was originally a military fortress. Later, it was used as a prison for a long time, attracting many curious tourists, and a man's cry of pain was suddenly heard not far away. Someone was inexplicably infected by the zombie virus, and Chris hurriedly stepped forward to kill him. But soon the others also began to mutate, and the whole prison was in chaos, and the protagonist group immediately began to strafe, only to see zombies crawling and biting everywhere. Jill is knocked out of her pistol during the battle, and the zombie man throws her to the ground, and Jill kicks the other side. Slam the prison door shut and clip off the zombie's head, while Claire is protecting the survivors and trapping the zombie outside the prison bars. However, the table could not stop the attack of a large number of zombies, and the survivors who were not bitten also mutated inexplicably. All the way to the sewers, she shoots at the dead passersby and goes over to check on the besieged police. The other party was also infected, and without saying a word, he rushed over, and Jill went up and smashed him with a few rifle butts. Then he used his strength to catch through the other party's head, and Chris was still killing, but Jill didn't return to the ground. Instead, he went into the depths of the sewers, but someone in the dark released a few liquors. He was the man behind the kidnapping of Dr. Taylor and the development of a new strain Dylan, in 1998. Dylan is also a Special Forces soldier for the Umbrella Company, and he travels to Raccoon City with the team to assist in the evacuation of the Umbrella Company's executives. If a civilian tries to keep up, he can shoot him directly, which caused the Special Forces to be puzzled. What happened in Raccoon City, and why did it disregard the lives of civilians to transfer executives and government officials? After Dylan and the others landed, they were attacked by zombies, and he and his friend Xiao Jie locked their comrades in the cold storage. The two asked their superiors for support, but the other party asked to shoot all the infected, and Jie wanted to act as ordered, but Dylan didn't want to hurt his teammates, so he quickly stopped Jie. However, the other party still smashed the glass of the refrigerator, killing all the infected teammates, but he was also bitten. The two reported to their superiors again and truthfully explained that little Jay was bitten, and sure enough, the superiors asked Dylan to clear little Jay. The two good brothers can only kill each other, and Dylan grabs the medical kit and smashes it into little Jay's head. Until the other party died, he had the habit of hammering the ground with a blunt object. And one leg was wounded in the battle, leaving a disability whenever Dylan was emotionally unstable. He would hit the ground with his cane, and Maria, the female warrior who had appeared earlier, was now also working under Dylan. The first time the three protagonists landed on Alcatraz Island, they were already targeted by Dylan, and at this time Jill and the two siblings were separated. The signal from the communication equipment was also cut off, and she carefully advanced with her dagger in her hand, noticing a figure in front of her. Jill immediately rushes up to fight him, and after a few moves, she discovers that the person in front of her is actually Leon, who is chasing Dr. Taylor's whereabouts. Also came to Alcatraz Island, and the two worked together to deal with the zombie tourists, but unexpectedly, a licker suddenly crawled out of the water. The two of them held their breath and stayed where they were, not daring to move, because the licker lived in a dark environment all year round, and his eyes had deteriorated and had no vision. But her hearing is extremely acute, and she sees her tongue sticking out and approaching Jill, and the heroine dodges and knocks down the waste oil drum. Seeing this, Leon immediately killed the licker, but the opposing companion chased after him, and Jill didn't run far. Was wrapped around her ankle by her tongue. Leon grabbed her hand when he saw this, and then took out a pistol to shoot, but in the blink of an eye, his wrist was also entangled. Jill hurriedly shot to help the other party get out of trouble, and with the tacit cooperation of the two, he finally got rid of the eater's tongue. But these monsters rushed up one after another, and they couldn't finish killing them at all, so the two simply hid in the corner. Leon kicked the oil drum on the ground and detonated it with a bullet, killing all the eaters behind him. On the other side, the Chris siblings are looking for survivors, but the tour group is basically wiped out, except for a man with glasses who hides in a cabinet and escapes. The two couldn't leave him alone, so they took the man with glasses to act together, and encountered a zombie attack on the way. The Chris siblings rush forward and entangle the enemy, and kill them separately, and the glasses man is bruised in the process of dodging. Claire stepped forward to help the other party deal with the wound, and the two of them didn't know that this glasses man appeared out of nowhere. In fact, it was Dr. Taylor that Leon was looking for, and the other party was about to escape from Dylan's control, when suddenly the Chris brothers and sisters had a pain in their necks. The two were bitten by strange mechanical mosquitoes and immediately felt unwell, and Taylor was shocked to see this. He tried to run away, but he ran into Maria head-on, and all three were captured by the female warrior. Meanwhile, Leon and Jill are still exploring the sewers, and they sense a stream of air in the tunnel, so they follow the breeze to move the masonry of the wall. Found a mysterious laboratory, the hatching pool is filled with a large number of liquors, and the two stumble into Dylan's base. And found the biological drone there, presumably this is Dylan's purpose in capturing Taylor, so that the other party can develop these mechanical mosquitoes and spread the virus through bites, and the two of them plan to burn down the entire hatchery base, but Dylan's voice suddenly sounded. He tells the two protagonists to go to Block 1, where the Chris siblings are waiting, and Gil and Leon soon arrive in Block 1. Chris and Claire were indeed locked inside, and Leon also recognized the glasses man as Taylor, and the two siblings were in a bad situation at this time. Mutations can occur at any time, and then Dylan finally appears. He keeps talking to divert the protagonist's attention, and a mechanical mosquito takes the opportunity to bite Leon. Maria stepped forward and fired the other party's pistol, which was a quick and effective way to infect Jill, and Dylan didn't let the mosquito bite Jill. Instead, he instructed the heroine to shoot her comrades before they mutated, which Dylan is really psychopathic. 17 years ago, he had to shoot little Jay, and now he has to test whether Jill will kill his comrades like himself in the same situation. Dylan wants to infect the entire human world, so that everyone can taste the relationship with siblings and friends. The pain of cannibalism. On the other side, Harrigan can't contact Leon, so he can only send a message to Rebecca. It is said that just a few hours ago, a man named Dylan stole the identities of Jill, Leon, Chris, and others. Now that the protagonists have lost contact with each other, Harrigan speculates that they must be in trouble. Rebecca heard that she brought the newly developed vaccine and followed the rescuers to Alcatraz Island to find the protagonist group. Unexpectedly, as soon as they landed on the island, they were attacked by the zombie great white shark, and the rescue team was wiped out. Rebecca had to sneak into the island alone with the vaccine, and when the scene shifted back to the prison, Jill was under unprecedented pressure. If Claire is not shot, Taylor, who is in the same cell as her, will be in danger, and if Claire mutates, the other party will definitely be bitten to death. But Jill remained unmoved. She had managed to regain control of her body, and she certainly didn't want to repeat the mistakes of the past. Hurting his friends who were fighting side by side again, Dylan on the side ran out of patience and simply shot Taylor himself. Seeing this, Leon detonates a flashbang to buy time, and Jill takes the opportunity to run into the sewers, where she must destroy the base hatching pool. Dylan guessed Jill's thoughts and also turned around and headed to the hatchery, ready to release millions of mechanical mosquitoes. Infected by humans all over the world, Claire, who is not yet mutated at the moment, stops the bleeding of Taylor's wound. The other party was moved by Claire's kindness, so he handed her the password to the drone backdoor program and then received a boxed lunch. At this time, Jill met Rebecca in the sewers and told the other party the location of Claire and the others, and Rebecca rushed to save people when she heard the words. Jill continued to rush to the hatchery, and just when Claire and the others were about to lose their support, Rebecca arrived in time to vaccinate the three. Succeeded in stopping them from mutating, but Maria soon chased after them, ready to kill Leon herself to avenge her father's death. The two fought without saying a word, and Maria's fighting ability and speed were far greater than Leon's, and he had no power to fight back at all. Can only concentrate on cracking the other party's tricks, Leon finally broke free from Maria's shackles, and Hung was still beaten by the other party. He kicked with all his might, and Maria slammed into the iron rod and died in the chest, and Jill finally reached the hatching pool. She tells Dylan that the serum has been developed and that he should stop being obsessed, but Dylan injects himself with a shot of the drug. He then jumps into the water and merges with the zombie shark, which forms a fish-like bioweapon and can even walk on land. Fortunately, Chris and others rushed to support, and the elite team officially assembled, and they dodged the huge tail of the fish monster. Leon took the opportunity to shoot the crane on the side, and the huge iron hook hung on the monster's head, and everyone took the opportunity to attack each other with heavy weapons. But this big guy has rough skin and thick flesh, and the ammunition is like cotton to no avail. Leon simply drives a car over and detonates it, and Claire and Rebecca enter the control room. Prepare to use the password given by Taylor to gain control of the drone, and at the same time accidentally discover the plasma rifle. Its temperature is as high as 20,000 degrees, which will definitely hit the monster hard, and she beckons her comrades to lure the monster over. Leon and the two drive to attract each other's attention and help Jill successfully hit the monster. But one shot wasn't enough to kill, the monster staggered back to its feet, and plasma rifle firing took a long time to recharge. Before the second shot could be fired, the monster broke the gun in her hand, and everyone had to find another way. At this time, Claire is about to finish off the drone, but Rebecca has an idea. She controls the drone. Let them infect monsters with a high dose of virus, and the toxin overload in the opponent's body will start to get out of control, and they will try to swim into open water to spread the virus. Jill is the first to catch the monster's attention, and she jumps into the water to lure her opponent under the gate. Leon and Chris teamed up to break the hinges with a fierce blast, only to see the iron door quickly close. Clamping the monster's head, the protagonist group successfully completes the mission and waits for the arrival of the rescue helicopter in the sunset. This is the end of the movie, directed by Japanese director Eiichiro Hazumi, which will be released in Japan and other places in 2023. Truth be told, the story is silly and cliché. The motives of the villains are simply untenable, but the game features two popular characters, a historic meeting between Leon and Jill. The Rayfield siblings fight at the same time, and a group of old people return en masse, like a pure fan derivative work, and I think fans of the game still like it. If you put aside the character filter and feelings, this is a completely third-rate film.